Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch. And before we get into today's episode, I got to give y'all disclaimers, okay? So we've been doing a lot of work together. This podcast dropped in December of 2024. And here we are in April 2025, and we are rocking and rolling. And I really appreciate you rocking with me and sharing the podcast and bringing people in because we're creating community. So this next phase of where we're about to go is really diving into creativity. I don't know what's going to happen, but you're on this journey with me. We're learning together. And I just want to put out energy and emphasis on growth, change, shift, and transition. And that's going to help us become better versions of us. As you know, what the show is three parallels: who we were, who we are, who we're becoming. So I want to share more of me in different ways, different spaces, different mediums. And y'all let me know what works and what doesn't. I'll take your full feedback. I'll take your suggestions, recommendations, because that's what helps get this podcast to go better, to be even better. And you got a part of that. So email me, three parallels podcast at gmail.com. Call, text 404-436-2540. Get involved and get connected. Any way that I can support you, you can support me. I'm all about it. So coming up for May, the month of May, end of the month to May, I'm finna give you more access to me, who I am as a professor, who am as a therapist, the whole nine. You're gonna get it more. So our next episode coming up, which you're finna dive into right now, are former students. As you know, I've done work with former students before, but things are kind of shifting a bit. So you're going to hear different aspects from people from all walks of life that I've connected with in different ways that can help you on your journey because they help themselves on their journey. So coming up next episode, I got two phenomenal former students who are now professionals that's going to share their journey, share their interests. And as we continue to grow and change, I want you to continue to grow and change. So if I can be of assistance in any way, please do not hesitate to reach out. Much love. I will see you soon. Glad you tuned in. Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. On today's show, I got some gifts. Gifts. That's plural. I got two of them. Two nice gifts wrapped and ready for you all because it's the first time I'm having two guests on the show. And these two guests are actually former students who are now professionals doing their thing. I mean, doing a thug thizzle in the counseling profession. These two students, there was always an automatic connection and energy that we all shared. And I feel as though they adopted me into the world of being a Swiftie. So I'm an official Swiftie now because of these two. And I would love to bring them to you all to share them with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, those in between, welcome Sydney and Rhea to the show. Give us some love. Yeah, that's them clapping in the background. So, what's happening? How y'all doing?
Oh my gosh, good. It's been nice to be done with the program, finishing back in December, and now it's been a few months. So just being able to take that time as I wait for the associate numbers to come in, and it feels nice having a little break from school for the first time ever in my life.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I love that. Way to introduce yourself. Okay. Sydney, what about you?
I feel like kind of similar to Rhea. Graduated in December. Really just took time to heal and recover just because last semester I was only in final project. Luckily, I didn't have prac, but even final project was just soul sucking because this is a lot of just demanding work. So, like Rhea, just recovering, resting, connecting with friends, family, and waiting on those associate numbers because those took a hot minute. And now looking for a job and happy to be done with school, but also excited to apply for PhD programs soon, maybe.
Ooh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm excited because this is family, and as you all know, to the listeners, when we bring family on, we have us a good time. And that's what we do. So a lot of these concepts and ideas that I use, the analogies, the metaphor, were birthed in these programs, in counseling programs all over the country. So y'all can choose to share or not what program you're in because I want to maintain whatever works best for you all. So being a recent graduate, three parallels are in play: who you were, who you are, who you're becoming. So if you could describe who you were pre-master's program, during the master program, and post, if you can describe those three people, three parallels, how would you describe them?
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to go first, Rhea, or do you want me to go?
Sure, I can go first. Big question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Before the program, oh my gosh, I feel like I was a completely different person. I feel like, and I think this is how I met you too, Dr. Branch, is I was very quiet. I tried to just like blend into the background. Um, and even before the master's program, I feel like I put a lot of I put so much pressure on myself to try and please other people and meet their expectations. And for the longest time, I was pursuing, or it felt like the longest time to me, I was pursuing like a different career. And it wasn't what I wanted to do. And eventually I had to choose myself.
Ooh.
And
Ooh. We just started, Rhea. We just started. Wow.
yeah, so made that decision to choose myself sophomore year of college. And choosing myself was choosing this career.
Mm.
And that's what led me here. And when I met you in, oh my gosh, what was it? Like my third year of the master's program, um, I just felt that change, that shift into like who I've become now. And I feel like I am more outspoken. I feel more confident in what I contribute to conversations. And I feel like I know myself and I know what I want a lot more. And as for who I'm becoming, I hope I just become more of those things and just more secure, more independent, and keep pursuing my goals.
Love it. Oh, this is so good. Y'all, are y'all listening out there? I mean, y'all have no choice. You're here. So I love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. Sydney, what about you? Who you were, who you are, who you becoming?
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a crazy thing to think about. Who I was before the program, um, totally different person. Like Rhea said, as Rhea was talking, I was like, yes, yes, totally agree. Totally different person. I was very, dare I say, like enmeshed with my family a bit. Um, I don't want to say I was too quiet, but I was more isolated. I think it was like 2021's when we started the program, so we were coming kind of out of COVID. Um, but not really sure of what I wanted to do. I got into the program and I was excited about that. Fun fact, Fullerton was not my first choice. It was the only program I got into, but I was like, I want to do counseling. I know that, so I'm going to go. Turned out to be the best decision ever, obviously. I met Dr. Branch and Rhea and so many other wonderful people. But yeah, I was feel like almost maybe floating before the program because like I knew that I wanted to be a counselor, but I hadn't started that journey yet. I've been in therapy, I've heard about it, but I wasn't in it. So kind of just floating and curious, I think, before the program. During the program, I would say I started to find myself, and something that we were told throughout the program is, the connections and friendships that you had before the program, it's going to totally change and be different. So there were friends that I had before the program that just kind of fizzled out because I was like, ooh, the way that it was is no longer. That does not work for me
Mm.
anymore, this friendship. So
Ooh.
I gotta go with love.
Mm-hmm. With
Um,
love.
um, and then I feel like some of the most genuine and most beautiful friendships in the program. And I feel like those are the first friendships that I felt safe and comfortable to like not only be myself, but like talk about my profession, my dreams, the career. Like there's so much more, I feel like having counselor friends. So I think that's what really helped me throughout the program. And after the program, not gonna lie, I miss school because I feel like it kind of
Mm.
forced us to connect.
Yeah.
And I would get to see Rhea at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so once we graduated, I feel like that's what I'm missing now. I don't want to say I'm back to floating again because I got my degree, I have my numbers, I'm looking for a job, but yeah, I feel like now I'm like, okay, back into the unknown because now I'm gonna be just an associate, no school. It's a totally different ball game, but I'm excited and I'm ready. A little nervous, but more excited and ready.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Excuse me, for both of you. Thank you for sharing this because you never know your story, your impact has on other people, especially the listeners who have considered, I thought about it and I want to do it, but I haven't. And what I'm hearing from you too is how life changing this experience was. To have a certain group of friends or to look at family a certain way before and then being here and begin to look at you because that's what it sounds like that happened. Y'all start looking at yourselves. So with that, I am curious to move into this world of therapy. You know, you all being therapists now, officially. We're colleagues now, officially. Ooh. What is that feeling of being on the other side? And in addition to that, considering therapy for yourself, whether you went before or you go now, or, you know, I'm just curious to know, what is that life like? Learning more about yourself and being intentional about learning more about you.
I never know if you want to go first, my love.
I never know either. You can go first this time.
Okay. Um, I love therapy. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Unfortunately, I haven't been in therapy for a little bit just because like financials and like I'm in the process of moving, so like it's just a lot going on. But once I move, I plan to find another therapist. I plan to keep going. I love digging up my problems and
Okay.
sifting through all of it and
Okay.
cleaning the wound or whatever you want to say, but it
Yeah.
has to be done. It has to be
Mm,
done. I really admire the growth and the change when I am on the other side to be like, wow, I don't have panic attacks as much anymore. My depression isn't as bad. So please go to therapy. I love therapy. It's so much fun finding out about yourself. And being on this side, I think it's even more important almost
mhm,
because
mhm.
as a clinician, and I feel like without like a cohort or student, because we're not in school anymore, it's harder to find that counseling community. And seeing a therapist, you're able to kind of talk about your work in a safe and okay space because it's allowed and, confidentiality. Um, so yeah, I think for me, definitely, I'm definitely going to get back into therapy once I move and get settled. And it is really important as a clinician to me to continue to work on myself to better support my clients in their growth and healing journey.
I love it. Oh, this is so good. Y'all just warm my heart. Okay. My heart got a sweater on right now. I think y'all told me that years ago. Real. What about you? Same question.
I started therapy back in college. It was around the time the pandemic started, and it had been on my mind for years to just start. I just wanted someone who I could talk to and just not feel judged by in any way, who just I knew would have my best interests at mind. Like, and I think that there was, a program within my college at the time where it was, like, doctorate students who were in psychology who were, like, getting their hours and stuff, and so there was no wait list for that, so I quickly signed up for that, and I had an okay experience. I think there were times where I think we just didn't connect too much, honestly, and I think I also, to be completely honest, was just not showing up in the most authentic way. Like, I
Mm,
remember um, just not being super open, not being super truthful. And there were just times where I will say, though, that while I was there, it did not affect the way that I viewed therapy. I thought of it as still a very positive thing, something I still wanted to become and wanted to try again later. And even though I would consider it like a pretty neutral experience, there were still things that I took away from that. And I think the biggest thing was learning what's in my control and what's not, and
mhm.
that, like, changed so much in my life for my anxiety. And when I got to this program, I thought, I don't think I need therapy right now, it's fine, and I quickly changed my mind about that, like, 1 semester in. And
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was it was so helpful, like, being
Mhm.
in therapy while being in a counseling program. Because being in the program, you learn so much about yourself just by talking to your classmates or your
yeah,
professors, and being able to unpack that even further in therapy was so beneficial,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was and it I've been in therapy throughout, like, the whole program, and it's been great. I've really connected with the 2 therapists that I've had throughout the program, and, um, yeah, they've been amazing, and I still see, my therapist, like, on and off after graduating.
Yes, I love it. Shout out to the therapist. Shout out to all the good therapists out here doing great work. Shout out to y'all being therapists. I love all of this. So, for the listeners, if you've never been to therapy, these are two people who've experienced it. These are two people who do it, not just being a client. They're on the other side because the reality is, for any of us in this profession, at any point in time, you can be on either side of the couch. Ooh, this is good. This is good, which is going to lead us to the next thing. And I want you to be as candid as you choose, but this is a really important topic that we don't talk about often. And what I call it, because y'all know I love analogies, is the beach and the sandbox. So the three of us, we usually live on a beach. Okay. We like it. We kick back, got a little cooler. We outside, the sun is shining. It's endless opportunities for us to be who we are authentically. Then you have the sandbox. The sandbox is a border, a parameter around things that people have put this border parameter around, where it's the difference between, what you were taught in this program and what you do. Those are two different things. And to me, I look at it as the beach and the sandbox, because being in the program, you're taught through this border and this way that we have to do the work. And then when you start at field placement, y'all saw this is very different than what y'all taught me, and I have to adjust. So I'm curious, how did you navigate the different worlds of the beach and the sandbox, and even come to the recognition of what I was taught and told may not fully align with what I'm doing? So I'm curious to hear y'all perspective in that transition from the beach to the sandbox, and now back on the beach.
You want to go first, babe?
Sure, thanks. I think this is something that I've actually thought a lot about, especially in practicum. And I just remember there were so many times where I brought it up with my supervisor that, like, oh, this is what we were taught in the program, but this is just not what's showing up here, or like that's not what you're recommending here. And I I just felt torn, essentially, and like, what am I supposed to do when I'm being told by my supervisor and when I'm being told by the program? There's like, I just don't know what to do. And as I thought about it, I just kept thinking about how nuanced people are, and how nuanced like relationships are, and how complicated they can be. And it's so hard to teach that in a program, like how to act. Like there's no formula
Yes.
to, like, being a therapist. Like it's not like you meet a certain type of person and you know exactly what you're going to do and that it's going to work out for them. Like a lot of it is trusting your intuition and your gut, and things that have been honed in the program, and consulting with other therapists.
Ooh, ooh, this is so good. Ooh. Cindy, what you got?
I feel like kind of similar to Rhea. I want to say we actually have talked like during our practicum experiences to each other about this of like, okay, so we were told this, but how are you doing it at your site? And even then there would be site differences. And so for me, I think definitely torn and like, oh fuck. Like, okay, like I get with this one story, but I get this one story, but I have to go into session now and I have to choose right now who I'm gonna listen to. And so it was hard, and it was very, I think it gave me a little bit of anxiety because, I think starting prac, I was like, oh, I want to be the perfect clinician, or I want to be, all the things that the program told me to be. And then I got there and I was like, I can't be all those things that they told me to be because that's just not who I am. I was like,
Yes, yes.
And so then that is something that I did appreciate about my site is my supervisor was very much about like prioritizing finding yourself in the room. So like let's worry about like the ethics and all of that. We'll talk about it, we don't want to do bad therapy or unethical therapy, but figure out who you are in the room, and then we can talk about theories, and then we can kind of integrate theories into your work, because it's no one size fits all for all clients. There's no way, like Rhea was saying, you walk in and you know exactly what to do. There's no way. Everyone, depression looks different, anxiety comes in different, so you have to adapt. Overall, though, I think, again, swinging back to Rhea, I think I figured it out by talking to my peers, whether at my site or at other sites, talking to the cohort above mine, talking to some professors, just kind of seeing what their experiences in prac were, what their recommendations were. And so I feel like overall, getting more, not evidence, but more notes of like what I can refer back to of like, oh, well, I like what Rhea said here, so I'm going to introduce that. I like what Dr. Branch said here, so I'm going to introduce that. So yeah, I feel like learning and taking wisdom from different people and being flexible.
Yes. Oh, you said something so powerful. Flexibility, being flexible. My belief in this world, beach and sandbox, because y'all went through the sandbox to hang out on the beach, is being flexible, which is very hard for salamanders. It's very hard for that perfectionist mindset to be flexible, because being flexible is being on the beach. Being very black and white is the sandbox. And every day you get to decide where you're going to be. And as y'all know, for me, I stay on the beach. That's where I live. But you can't be in this profession and not balance both worlds, which you all are doing, which leads to the next place related to now that you've graduated, because y'all can easily graduate and I'm just going to work in the profession. I'm going to get a community agency job. I'm going to be okay. Y'all didn't decide to do that. Y'all decided, yes, I'm going to go get this license. I'm going to go do this. I might go get a PhD on the way. Like y'all are looking, again, beach, y'all looking so far ahead and being visionaries. How did you develop this? And what was it like, or what has it been like going from having all this protection and support as a student, and now you're out here on your own, figuring it out as you go? I would love to hear your perspective on that.
Do you want to
Whoever
go
wants
first?
it. Y'all just jump in. Come on, I need y'all to be a gator out here. Just jump in there.
Okay. I think I'll go first. Not gonna lie, at first it was a little scary being out here and alone because again, I feel like I thrived off of having that community in the program. And then I was like, girl, stop being so silly. You still have community. You just have to be more intentional about it. Like,
Time out, Sydney. Woo! Listen, y'all finna get hit in the head with a honey bun. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you from the beginning, okay? Get your journals out. Get those Gator Scales journals. If you don't have one, go get it on Amazon right now. Push pause. Go get you something to start writing this information down, because Sydney and Rhea is giving you gems, jewels, breadcrumbs that could change the trajectory of your life if you're paying attention. So please continue.
I feel like a great example is like for me, I was struggling with the application. I like got confused and I was thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm struggling. I'm the only one. And then I remembered I graduated with a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people going through this process. I reached out to Rhea. I reached out to someone that had previously graduated, and it was fine. I was making stress and worry out of nothing because I just simply forgot that I had my community.
Mm.
Um, so I feel like regarding the PhD and licensure was like a non-negotiable for me. That was the plan for always. I started therapy in middle school, and in middle school, I found out that I want to be a therapist, and it's been
Wow.
that way since.
Wow.
So I was gonna get licensed, so that's the plan. And then I was on the fence about a PhD, and then I had a class with Dr. Branch, and he talked all about PhD, and I was like, ugh. And you said one thing that I still echoes when I'm like, PhD? And it's your voice, and you're like, if you've already thought about it, you're gonna be thinking about it the rest of your life. You just gotta do it. And I'm like, you're right, I do. And so I want to do it. I've been looking at a couple schools, not too in depth yet though, just because I'm trying to figure out if I want to gain some hours first, get a little bit more experience, and then start my PhD, or if I should just jump right into a PhD. I think also with the move, I think I'm also kind of like, ooh, I just don't know how much it's all gonna be once I'm there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But yeah, no, I've always dreamed big, shooting for the stars because why not?
I love it. I love it. Ooh, breadcrumbs. Rhea, what you got?
Pretty similar, I would say. I think being alone is pretty difficult. Like in the program, it was just constant interaction, and not just interaction in these classes. You're expected to, or like highly encouraged to like open up. And when everyone else does, you feel very welcome to as well. So to go from having classes like that to just suddenly like, oh, we don't meet up unless like we specifically plan to,
Mm-hmm.
and very intentional, like Sydney said. And but in a way that's almost a little better in my opinion because of how intentional it is, how much effort is put into it. It feels even more like the experience feels even more rich.
Mm.
Yeah, and it feels incredible. As for like the future and like goals and stuff, I think I've honestly gotten that from my parents. They're very ambitious. My dad has a PhD, and I remember talking to him about it, and he just said that he wanted to learn everything that there is to learn in his field. And I thought that was the most incredible thing ever. And I remember thinking like I want to do that. So I even remember asking you, Dr. Branch, I emailed you like what, like, can you talk to me about doctorate programs? And you were like, I'm going to bring this up in class. And we
And
spent
that's
that
how it
whole
happened.
class about it. Yeah.
That's how it happened. Absolutely. And look at the ripples. This is what I call ripples in the pond. Because of that conversation we had in class, this is what Sydney came up with. That's what she just shared. It's because of what you did behind the scenes, and look what happened. And now we're on a podcast talking about it. And there's so many people listening that's been thinking the same thing. And now they finna do it because of y'all. It ain't me. It is not me. So I do want to spend a little time in this PhD world because we have to. So for those listening, because y'all hearing from the source, for those listening, I will share the same thing with you all. If there's any indication, any inclination, I'm interested in becoming doctor, whatever your name is, that will not go away until you make an attempt to do it. Now, there's a lot of people that apply for PhD programs. I'm sorry, not apply. A lot of people that start PhD programs that don't finish. That's okay. There's a lot of people that start and do finish. There's a lot of people that start and life happens. The reality is all you have to do is start. And once you start, it's only a matter of time for you get that PhD or ABD, one or the other. For those that don't know, PhD means you earned your doctorate. You did all of the requirements, the classes, the dissertation. You have a PhD. ABD, you did everything but finish your dissertation. That's for a lot of people. And it happens because our goals, our direction, our dream, our life, it changes, it shifts. So for anyone who's interested, I highly recommend, you got it from all three of us, the Swifties, go get that PhD, okay? Because any reason that you wouldn't comes from ideas and beliefs you have about yourself and the people around you that's telling you not to do something they've never done, and people telling you not to do something that they would never do. Just want to talk about facts. So thank y'all for sharing your experiences. And now we finna go back in time because we, as y'all can see, it's like quantum leap. We're going back, forward, middle, everywhere. So let's go back. Y'all shared a little bit. Now I want to know the story. What made you decide, or how did you know this is what I want to do in life and I'm finna go get it? I'm finna go do it. I'm curious. What is the story? Who wants to go first?
I can go first. I I just remember like starting high school and it was constantly on my mind, like, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Because college is just in a few years. And it was being a therapist was the first serious career that I had ever considered. Before that, it was like I was a little kid and I was like, I want to be a pop star. Or I remember there was like a combination. I wanted to be an engineer like my dad, and I wanted to be a babysitter, and I wanted to be a teacher all at once. And
I love it.
That's
I
a
love
job.
it.
That is a job.
yes, all at once. Like, yeah, I don't know how I was going to make that work, but I was 8. So that was what I thought grown-up life would be like. But then suddenly I was 13
Mm,
and I just I think I my parents would talk about therapy in a very positive way, which in my culture is not I don't usually see that in my culture. Mental health is usually ignored and or just outright dismissed because it's like I've heard a lot, even as I told people that I was gonna do this as a career. It was like, why don't you just be a doctor? Like those are real things that you can see when you look at a person. There are real wounds and injuries. I was like, real? Like, how can you say that what's going on inside is not real?
mm,
And it manifests in so many different ways. It can manifest physically. So, but back when I was 13, that was what I really wanted to do. And I remember getting this like gut feeling that like I am really excited about this. And I did waver from that. And I just had so many people in my life saying things like that to me about, why don't you just be like a real doctor? And as a 13-year-old, obviously I listened. And I ended up going to college as pre-med. I was a neuroscience major. And at the start of college, I was 100% sure that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a doctor, and I was going to go to med school and I was going to be a neurosurgeon or neuroscientist or I don't know, something like that. But then as I started college, I had to take all of these psychology prerequisites. I was like, these classes are amazing. I love this. Then I took my first neuroscience class and I was like, oh my God, I hate this.
Mm.
And at the same time, I was taking this class for pre-med where I got to shadow doctors and talk to doctors and med students who were in that med school. And I just could not see myself enjoying what they were doing.
Mm.
And it was impossible to avoid. I
Yeah.
couldn't deny what I was seeing and the feelings I was having as a result of that. And from the age of 13 until I was 19, at the time that I was experiencing all of this, everything I was doing was so focused on other people want me to be a doctor. And I'm feeling this pressure. Whether or not were directly telling me, I felt pressure all the time to do
Mhm.
that. And it got to the point where first semester, sophomore year of college, I felt so lost. I felt like I was floating, like Sydney said earlier, and I didn't know what to do, but I just knew that I couldn't do this.
Mhm.
And I was so lost. I remember like calling home to my parents every single weekend, and that's not even an exaggeration. And I was just crying because I was like, what do I do with my life? And I'm so lucky to have like the most supportive family. They would listen to me cry for hours and just tell me that no matter what I decided, everything would be okay. And I think after like 2 or 3 months straight of that, I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm tired of this. And why am I thinking so much about other people? Like, people are encouraging me to do med school, but I'm the one who has to do it.
Ooh, ooh, time out. Ooh. That is a bar. Do you hear? Ah. Ooh, I'm sorry. You caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that one. Ooh, keep going. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, and I remember having that thought and just feeling so passionate and angry about it. And all these people who were telling me to be a doctor, I don't think I'm like thinking back in my head, I don't think a single one of them is a doctor.
Ooh, ooh. Part two. Part two. You just hit us, Rhea. Everybody named mama tell you to go get one, and they ain't got one. I could have sworn I just said that a little earlier. Now
You
you're
did.
providing the facts. You're providing the evidence, and you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. And this is so good. This is so rich. I want to go a little bit further because you mentioned the culture. If you
Mhm,
could give us more insight on that, because all of us are a part of a culture or many cultures that,
mhm.
we experience some of the same things. So if you can give us a little more detail on the culture and that experience, it would be helpful for everyone.
Yeah, of course. So both of my parents are from India, and they both immigrated here, and I was born here. As a result, like, I've gone back to India almost every single year of my life to visit grandparents, relatives, all that, and growing up here, I grew up in a community in the Bay Area where I'm friends with, like, all these Indian families and grew up, like, going to school with people of all sorts of races and cultures and ethnicities, and then having these family friends who are Indian and so connected to our culture. And so I even remember learning about the term, like, bicultural in one of my psych classes in college, and I was like, "That is exactly what I am."
Mm,
And something that I've also discovered since that class and throughout this program is being bicultural means you can choose what you like about both cultures and, like, blend it together to make a very unique combination that is you. And that
mhm,
was something I struggled with all my life, and I feel very confident about it now. But until then, it was just I felt pressure and expectations from being both American and Indian, and what am I supposed to do? Like, one culture is very individualistic, one is very collectivistic, and just being torn and feeling like both, and then also at the same time feeling like neither.
mm. Ooh,
So,
ooh,
yes, very
Rhea,
complicated.
you finna have everybody in therapy. You keep this up. You finna- You dropping gems, Rhea. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of this. Thank you for sharing your truth, your lived experiences, because there's so many people listening who can identify with exactly what you're talking about. And the
Yeah,
reality is, we're now talking about it, and we're using this platform to share it, to give people insight and experiences that they can do what you've done because you've done it. You've
yeah,
done it. Oh, so powerful. So powerful. Thank you. Thank you for all of that.
of
Sydney,
course.
You're up. I mean, no, this is no competition. These are lived experiences, and we're just talking about it. Everybody has one. So what's yours?
And the lived experience of like why I wanted to become a counselor.
Yeah. What
Okay.
made what was the thing that let you know like this is it? This is what I want to do, and I'm finna go do it.
It was so I was in middle school. A family member of mine said some very hurtful things to me that kind of just caused me to like spiral downhill. I was like, crying every day. I didn't know what was happening. My parents, not huge advocates of counseling, but didn't know what to do with me and my tears and my feelings, as they are not feelers themselves. So they're like, you need to go to therapy and figure this out because we don't know what to do with you. And I was like, great. Um, so I went, and it was just beautiful. I feel sad because I don't remember the therapist's name, but I just remember it was a non-judgmental space. I was free to just be. It was the first space where like all of my emotions were accepted and they weren't limited to like stop crying, like you've cried enough, or you don't need to be sad, get over it. Like I just got to be and I got to cry and I got to get all the things that I needed out. So by the end of therapy and like all of our time together, I was like, it felt to me like she had some type of superpower, is how I used to say it, because she helped me feel better. Not, she didn't do anything to me. She didn't like insert a chip in my brain. She didn't wave no magic wand. She just talked to me. She talked to
Mm.
me. She provided that safe space that I so desperately needed, but that I didn't know. Um, and so by the time I was done seeing her and I was in a better spot, I was like, I want to be her. I was like, I want to do what she does. I want to be able to help people feel better. Like, and just with words, just by listening, just by being there. Um, so yeah, I feel like that kind of set me on the course and there was no off tracks for me. That was the course. I was staying the course. My parents were not as supportive, because they're not really big advocates of mental health from the beginning. So I think that was hard because it was like, well, why are you going to work as a counselor? You're not going to make any money. It's going to be awful. Like, are you really going to be able to do that? And it's like, yeah, I am. So watch me.
Ooh. Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Talk your shit. This is the show for it. I love it. So, Sydney, I am curious because it sounds like it was a cultural issue for you as well. So, if you don't mind sharing your truth related to culture and growing up in that environment where it wasn't supported and deciding, I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was rough. So, my mom's 100% Hispanic, my dad's 100% white, and then my bio father is Filipino. So I feel like I'm a mixed bag of a lot of different things. My family tree looks very wonky. But trying to integrate all those cultures is so hard. I feel like what Rhea was saying, I 1,000% agree of like, I never felt enough of one. And like I couldn't be the perfect Mexican. I couldn't be the perfect white person. And so it's just finding a balance, definitely, I think for me is like a lifelong learning process. Um, and overall, I feel like it honestly really shifted for me in high school, where I was like, I'm standing firm, I'm standing tall. Like, I don't know exactly what happened in high school, because it started in middle school. And I remember in high school, there was like a project, what we're going to be. And I was like, counselor. My parents like, hold on, like, why don't we talk about it? And I was like, no, like, this is like, I did the research, I did the project. I'm like, this is the salary. This is what I got to do. And I was like, and I want to do it. Like, I know you guys don't like it. I know it's not what helps you feel better. It's not something that you love to do, but it's something that I love. And I think that that's worth it to me if it's going to bring me joy. And looking back, it's like how beautiful that I was so confident in myself and knowing that what I wanted to do and not letting anyone stop me. And still all the peace and love to my parents, but that like this is my life. So even though you want me to pick a job that I'm going to make more money and maybe I'll be more successful in their eyes, that's not fulfilling for me. So I gotta do me and I gotta stick with what I know.
I love it. I love it. Ooh, this is heavy. Y'all got me over here like I feel like an anvil. Like I'm really heavy right now. This emotion and this push, and I'm moving past the culture. I'm creating my own culture. I'm creating my own identity. I'm doing what I want to do. I love it. And for me, you two just gave permission to so many people who are in the same space that you once were in. Y'all giving people permission. It's both of y'all. It ain't just one person. It's both of y'all. You know. Then they got me. Like what? We out here winning. So I want to transition to some rapid fire questions because this has been such a gift to me. And I know it's a gift to the people that's listening because it's different. A lot of us, specifically therapists, aren't talking about experiences as people. And that's why the stigma, stereotype, and belief about therapists and therapy is perpetuated because we're not talking about it. So a lot of people think as therapists that we got our shit together. And this is the reality. We got shit going on just like everybody else. We're no different. But the belief is I don't want to talk to somebody who got their life together and try to tell me to get my life together. Ain't nobody got it together. Nobody.
No.
We all figuring it out as we go. So transitioning to learning about ourselves. I'm curious who you were, who you are, who you're becoming, the person that you are right now, and all the things that you've gone through from birth to where you are right now. I'm curious to know, what have you learned about yourself on this journey called life? Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Damn.
We going there. What kind of show y'all thought this was? Y'all thought we was just gonna play, have a good time? No, we finna go deep. We need to get in that basement, baby.
Yeah.
I feel like something that has come up for me time and time again has been my intuition. And it wasn't even something that I ever thought of, but I noticed that people kept bringing it up to me, even when I was very young. Um, I would just be told that I'm also just very like observant. I'm very like in tune to people's emotions. And just that my intuition is so strong. And when I feel it, I just can't ignore it. And that has come up with just so many of it's come up with my parents have brought it up to me. My cousin brought it up to me. My um my therapist, every single one I've had has brought it up to me. And it's just impossible for me to avoid. And I think the biggest thing I've learned about myself is that that is such a power and that I have to learn to listen to it. And I've gotten a lot better while being in therapy. And when I feel it, it's so strong. I would be doing myself a disservice by ignoring it.
Powerful. Love that. Sydney, what you got?
Um, Before I answer, I just want a second and echo like Rhea's intuition is unmatched. Like she is very freaking powerful because I feel like we've even talked about it and like, yeah, no, she's got some magic up in her for sure.
Okay, then let's go.
That's so sweet.
Goodness gravy. That is quite the question. I think for me, maybe in a similar vein to Rhea, I think it's for me, I think more about like trusting myself. Like, even if I'll be confident and do something, that doesn't mean I trust myself. You know, I'm gonna do it because like I hype myself up, but I might be scared the entire time, and I might be uneasy, or I might be like, oh, is this really gonna work? But I'm still gonna try. So I feel like trusting myself and trusting the process and knowing that whatever happens, that I got it and it's gonna be okay. Whatever okay looks like, you know, it might not be the original okay I thought, but I know myself and I know myself, I feel like well enough that like I got it. I can take care of me. Even if it looks like, you know, shit's gonna hit the fan, let it hit the fan and I'll be okay. Like let the control go. I don't need to control everything. Just trust and believe that it'll all work out and it will.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It has. It has.
It
Ooh,
has.
it has. Yes. Come on.
Yeah.
We're on the other side of it now. We're on the other side. So next question, again, from birth to where you are now, and you all both have experienced a lot of different things, especially in this program and the profession. I'm curious to know, what have you learned about other people?
That is also a really good question. And I think you just have amazing questions.
Why, thank you.
I mean, we work with other people all the time. So I feel like I mentioned earlier, like people are so different. They're so like you bring in the background and all their lived experiences. Everyone is so different. But what I found to be very consistent is that everyone is doing the best that they can all the time. And when I remind myself of that, it's just so powerful to me because I can see it every time I sit down with somebody. And whenever like my relationship with someone is going through something, it's just like a really nice reminder to have that like we're all living life for the first time. We're all doing the best we can. And yeah, sometimes that looks different at different times of life.
Love it. Love it.
I think for me, it's that something that I learned, and I feel like it was really, really driven through me during the program was that not everybody is for you. Not
Ooh.
everybody is looking out for your best interest or really wants to be your friend, and is going to take care of you. And so for me, I think something that I have really been sitting with recently is just like friends and people like Rhea said, everyone's doing their best. Everyone is surviving and walking through life as best they can. And that doesn't mean that you're all going to be friends or besties or get along. You got to find your people. You got to find your tribe. You got to find the people that fill your cup up, that nurture your soul. Because there are some people that even though they seem really friendly, oh my God, we're going to be great. You get a little bit into that friendship. You're like, ooh, what was that? And it's some of my old stuff coming back up. So I got to clean house again. And so just reminding myself that like boundaries are healthy and having expectations, not only for myself, but even for friendships and like standards, I guess, like it's good. It's not bad. It's just setting a standard of like, how I expect myself to be and what I kind of expect for my friends. I have a tight circle. It's very small. Not gonna lie, because like I'm very picky. I choose my friends very specifically because the energy. I come off as an extrovert, but I'm not, and so I need to be mindful of my energy and all that stuff. So I think people have taught me that despite everyone being wonderful and beautiful, that they're not all going to be for me, and that's okay.
Ooh. All this wisdom in this room right now. Like all this wisdom. Y'all dropping gems. I'm love it. I'm here for it. All right. So I'm curious. This is gonna be big. This is gonna be big. I'm curious to know what is a word, phrase, memory, or moment that has stuck with you personally or professionally?
Um, I'm looking at it right now, actually. It is right on my desk. Um, I think it just means so much. I'm just gonna show it.
Okay.
It is meant for like a door handle. You can't see it, can you? Mm-mm.
Yeah, you go right there.
Oh,
It says my name. It's got a broken heart. It says, "Please do not disturb. Broken heart repair in progress" at the bottom.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it was made for me at my practicum site in my third semester. And I was in a very supportive environment. And there was kind of this inside joke between me and some of the other interns that, like, I just kept being assigned clients who were going through breakups. And it's very ironic considering I have very little dating experience. And somehow I was doing really great work with them. And I do think there is some connection there. And I just remember one day I was in supervision, and I think I had just gotten another client going through a breakup, and we were laughing about it, like me and the other interns, just like, how does this keep happening? But just that it's so cool. And when I walked out of supervision, I went back to my room and sat down, and there was a knock on my door, and the scheduling manager walked in and was like, "I made this for you."
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so seen. I feel
Mm,
supported, and I just, um, yeah, I'm gonna take it with me everywhere I go."
wow. Wow.
And
That's
just it
beautiful.
felt so nice to feel so seen by work that I've done.
mhm.
That's beautiful. I love it. And you got like the keepsake. You can hold on to that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. So powerful.
always putting it on my door.
I love it. I love it. Sydney, what you got?
It's something that I would tell my clients when I was at prac, and I feel like something that I was told myself in therapy as the client. And it's something that I tell myself not on a daily, but just a nice reminder when I need it is I'm never too much and I'm always enough.
Hmm.
I feel like that's something that I struggle with, like, remembering sometimes. It's like, "Oh, I was too much," or "I talked too much," or "I was," but no, I wasn't. I'm not. I'm just enough always. I am more than enough. So yeah.
Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So now we finna go to the basement, whatever y'all willing to share. I'm curious to know whatever you haven't shared yet, because we do this in class, but now we're doing it on the podcast. I'm curious to know for you to share with the listeners an interesting fact about yourself that most people don't know.
I think the thing that surprises a lot of people, you both know it because I've mentioned it in class, but just that I'm a huge football fan. Like in the fall, I will schedule my life around 49ers games. That is the top priority. I
Beautiful.
love
I'm here
it.
for
I
it.
get so into it.
I'm here for
No,
it. I love it.
she's telling the truth. We were gonna hang out in time. She's like, I'm gonna go to the bar and watch a game first though, and then we can hang out. And I was like, perfect. I was like, I love that for you. And then we talked about the game at the hangout.
Come
So
Yeah,
on,
I
and
help.
get
I even told her too. I was like, we could meet at the bar, but I'm going to be so honest, I will not be mentally present in this conversation, and I don't want to
Wow.
do that to you.
Come on, healthy boundaries. Look at y'all. Look at you. I'm
yes.
with it. I'm with it. Interesting fact. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Sydney.
Oh goodness. An interesting fact. Um, I really don't like ketchup. Like I don't like to eat it. I don't know. And if you want to know the origin story, for me, like
Yes.
as a kid, it looked like blood growing up. So I was like, ooh, I don't like it. And then because my family loves me so much, we went on vacation one time and I woke up and I was covered in ketchup.
Wow.
And
Oh,
I screamed bloody murder. I ran all around the one hotel room we were in because my sister and my brother and my mother were in on it. And my dad just sat there and he's like, they were gonna put you on the balcony, so at least you just got ketchup. And I was like, and so that really like final nail in the coffin. Do not come with me at ketchup. I'm a ranch girly
Okay.
forever. So no
Okay.
ketchup for me.
Very interesting fact. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure there's some listeners that can connect the dots to that as well. This is so good. All right. So before we get out of here, you two are a wealth of knowledge, wealth of information, wealth of energy and life. And now with this part of the show, we don't give homework on the show. We give life work. Homework, you take it home, you do it. You turn it in, you never remember it. Life work, you take it home, you do it, your life can pivot or change. So if you can offer something to the listeners based off of life work or a keepsake, something that you can give them, that's the gift that keeps on giving, what would that be?
there are two things that immediately come to mind for me that I've just been really resonating with lately. And I've mentioned intuition a few times already. And I just think that is just so important. Like, if people can learn to listen to what their mind and their body are telling them, I think that just opens up so much for them in terms of planning their future, figuring out what they want in life. Like, all throughout my life, there were always signs and feelings that have led me to this point. And there were times I ignored it, and there were times I listened to it. Like, I remember even when I was like pre-med and going to be a doctor and everything, the thought I kept having over and over was, I am not enjoying this, but I can't wait to get to the end of this where I can just interact with patients every day. It was always about that human interaction for me. And that showed up over and over and over again. And then I finally listened to
I love
it.
it. I
And
love it.
yeah, and then the second thing that I've been thinking a lot about too is I've been seeing it a lot on social media, so I don't know where it originally came from, but just this idea of let them.
Mm.
It's just I've heard it so many times before, but I feel like it's been really resonating with me lately. And it goes back to what I was saying about control and how you can't control other people. You can't control other things in your life. You can just control yourself. There's very little that is actually in our control. And just reminding yourself that, I feel like takes a lot of pressure off of ourselves. And yeah, just that idea of let them. Like, if someone is disappointing you over and over, remind yourself like it's not your responsibility to try and change them, to try and make them fit into your life. Like, it does not work like that. So, yeah, I feel like that has changed my life so much lately.
I love it. Now I got something for you. This is so good. So the reason this is going viral and being in your atmosphere is because that's the energy that you're putting out and you're getting back. The let them has become really popular lately because of Mel Robbins. So
The
Mel
book, right?
Robbins, Yeah, she wrote the book called Let Them, and she has a podcast. So Mel, whenever you want to get on the show, you are more than welcome. Whenever you want me on your show, you're welcome too. So that's to Mel. So now, Rhea, you can be intentional about moving in that direction and diving into it, because it's you're attracting it. So a lot of times we are attracting the people, places, and things that we're supposed to have based off of the person that we are. So there's a nugget for you. Do what you want to do with that. And thank you for sharing the life work, because you just gave somebody something that could change their lives. Sydney, same for you. Same question.
I think similar to Rhea, two things. One thing pretty similar, just being more like mind body aware, I feel like is something that it's been really important and helpful since ending the program. I feel like trying to make sure that I go outside and walk around, run around something. If I, for whatever reason, I can't go outside, I'm in the apartment, like dancing, music, like something to, I feel like almost keep myself present and grounded at least once a day. That's like minimum, if not as much as you can, time permitting, energy permitting. And the other thing that I feel like that's helpful for me is having some type of mantra that like I stand in front of a mirror and I like do my little Wonder Woman pose and I have a mantra. The most recent one that I have was from a fortune cookie. And it's my skills will be recognized and suitably rewarded. And so I repeat that to myself 3 times in the mirror. And as I walk by the mirror, I'm like, hey, don't forget about those skills. They're about to be suitably rewarded, right? So like, like kind of like being my own hype person and reminding myself that I do have these skills. I am this amazing person. Don't forget that. What
Yes.
is meant to be will come to me. The right job will hire me. It'll find me. I'm just waiting.
I love it. I love it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for your energy and for your time. And I got to share with the listeners, you two are the reason that we're here right now. Y'all mentioned this back in December of last year. Yo, we want to be on the show. And life has happened. And now we're in this place. This is when y'all were supposed to be on the show at this time, at this day. So know that. And what you all put out is going to come back. I promise you. It always does. Just believe it. So also on this show, I want to give you an opportunity to share the wealth, products, services, where you are, who you are. If people want to reach out to you, if people want to connect with you, how can they get in contact?
Um, you can have my email. I'm
Okay.
pretty responsive on my emails. I don't know if Dr. Branch can like post that somewhere. But
Yeah.
my email, I also have a Google number that like I can respond to as well.
If you don't mind
Um,
sharing it, like you can say it. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. I just have to look it up. I don't have that one memorized. My email though is Sydney Mariah 016 at csu.fullerton.edu. I'm so sorry, that one's very long.
No apologies.
Um,
No
and
apologies
then
needed.
let me find my number. I honestly don't know how to look for my number. Let me see. I'm so sorry. Oh, I got it. Just kidding. 949 870-9567. And as long as like you give me like a little context, like, hey, I heard you on Branch's podcast, like I'll respond. Like I just don't love to respond to strangers. But yeah, feel free, reach out. What's going on? I'm currently looking for a job. I have my APCC, my AMFT. Oh, actually there's a little bit more. I'm working on getting my thesis published. So that's in the works. And then an article that I'd been working on during my master's program just got accepted for publication. So that'll be coming out soon. So that's really exciting. I think that's it though.
I love it. I love it. This is the place for it. I want to highlight y'all. I want to give y'all love and share that energy, because you never know who's going to reach out to you, because
Yeah.
the people, places, and things we're supposed to have is going to find us. Y'all just made yourselves available. Rhea, what you got?
Well, first, Sydney, I want to say that's incredible. I can't wait to read what you publish. Um, as of right now, I am just starting the job search and everything. So don't have a Google number or Instagram or anything like that, but that will come at some point. As for right now, I will give my email. It is rhchow1999 at gmail.com. And if you give some context, like Sydney said, just so I know it's not like a spam email or something, I will definitely reply. Yeah, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store.
Love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you both. And this portion of the show is where I give you your flowers. So both of you have been an impact to me and my life as a professor because you two accepted me for who I am and what I brought to the table. I know I'm a different professor than most, if any, because number one, I'm Black. So I'm a Black male therapist, a counselor, and counselor educator. And I'm like a unicorn, except I'm Black with a gold horn. So y'all accepted me and embraced me from the first day to all the way to now. And that means the world to me. And it's your energy, your personality, your willingness to dive into you, that your willingness to trust me, and your willingness just to share love and life to anybody within your vicinity. That's who you two are. And y'all a dream team. And I can't believe we're here together doing this podcast. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing out. Like y'all came in here and showed y'all ass, and I love it. I'm here for it. I am here for it in the most professional way possible. I am here for it. And this is authenticity at its finest. So thank y'all so much for being here. And to the listeners, thank you for rocking with us. Like this whole show, you're here, you're rocking with us. And I just can't thank you enough, because without you, it wouldn't be me, it wouldn't be us. And I feel as though our job is to continue putting out these breadcrumbs. And these breadcrumbs are the things that's hidden in plain sight. You eat enough breadcrumbs, you're going to end up with a slice of bread. You eat enough slices, you're going to end up with a loaf. You end up with a loaf, you're going to get hit in the head with a honey bun. After this honey bun, you just keep eating so much bread, before you know it, you wake up in Panera. That's where I'm at every day. It's a bread factory. I don't run out. I got my apron on. I got my hat turned to the side, and I'm giving out these biscuits, baby. This has been another episode of the Three Parallels Podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we are, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If this episode, if this podcast has been a blessing to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, share it. Give it away. Don't keep this information to yourself. Don't keep these two beautiful guests to themselves. Y'all give some energy, give some love. And if this helps you, if this makes you pivot, do it. Do it. You want to get a PhD? Go get it. The only person that can tell you no is you. Good night. Thank you so much for joining me on the Three Parallels Podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If this podcast or this specific episode has been a blessing to you, please give it away. Drop some breadcrumbs and share it with others. Like, comment, subscribe, so you won't miss an episode. There's a new episode that comes out every Sunday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pacific time and 12 a.m. Eastern. Gator Talk. Gator Talk is the post-show Q&A session for the podcast. Every Friday, let's get ready to take the Three Parallels Podcast beyond the episode. Join me, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern for Gator Talk, our exclusive post-show Q&A session. Kick back, relax, step into the living room, a space for open, laid-back conversations with your hosts, me, Dr. Jason Branch, and fellow listeners. Let's break it all down together, what resonated, what hit home, and what's shifting in your journey from who you were to who you are and who you are becoming. It's real, it's raw, it's Gator Talk. Don't just listen, join the conversation. See you Friday. The Gator Scales Journal. It's game time. The Three Parallels Podcast just leveled up with a powerful new resource for your journey and transformation. Introducing the Gator Scales Journal, your personal guide to shifting you from who you were to embracing who you are and to recognize who you are becoming. This isn't just a journal, it's a game changer for your growth, mindset, and evolution. Click the link to order your copy today, or check it out on Amazon. Take ownership of your progress, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Let's get to work, baby Gators. Are you stuck in the trunk of your own car, watching life pass you by? It's time to slide into the driver's seat with a licensed therapist as your co-pilot. Whether it's your first time in therapy, you need a push for growth, or you finally ready to invest in your mental wellness, I got you. With over 20 years of experience, I help people move from who they were to embrace who they are and make room for who they're trying to become. Therapy with me is real, raw, intentional, authentic, and of course, hilarious. Let's break some cycles together, shift your mindset, and unlock your best self. I'm on the passenger side messing with the radio, holding the map up, and we're going wherever you would like to go. Give us a call today at 404-436-2540 or shoot me a text to book your free consultation. Check us out on the web at www.drjbranch.com. Look forward to connecting with you. Have a great day.